Gerry Lopez, Mr. Pipeline, surfed around the world, discovered waves in Uluwatu and Padang Padang and those spots. You were that guy. You're riding this wave. What do you think of Kelly Slater Surf Ranch?
I think it's the greatest. I think it's a perfect wave that just happens to be in a pool. And the fact that it's in a pool makes it very consistent, and you kind of know what you're going to get every time. And it's probably the last place I'm ever going to get tubed like I used to be. So I love it. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's a big part of the future of surfing. You know, as you know, in our lifetime, surfing has gone from a very small, hardcore, obscure little sport that no parents in their right mind wanted their kids to grow up to be surfers, to this big sport that's kind of mainstream, and you know, this accompanying huge industry with it. And of course, a part of that is, as surfing has become so popular, is all the good surf spots are pretty crowded these days. And you know, there's always some tension in the lineups just because of that, that there's guys that think it's their turn all the time, and you know, that's the way it is now. But you come to a place like this, everybody's having a good time. And I thought about it, you know, because I've had a few opportunities to come. In fact, when they made it of left, originally it was just the right. When they made it a left, Kelly called me up and goes, "Hey, you want to come ride the first left?" And I go, "Sure, why not?"
When you rode the first left ever produced here at the ranch, what was that like? Were you expecting it to be as good as it was?
Absolutely not. You know, I'm thinking it's a wave pool. But it was perfect, except it was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. I didn't even come close to making the first wave. I took off and that thing just passed me by. And Tommy Carroll was here, Shane Dorian. Neither of them made their first wave either. And then Kelly came out on the jet ski and goes, "I didn't make my first one either." But the beauty of this place is everybody takes turns and everybody knows whose turn it is. It's just that simple thing alleviates any tension, and the vibe is always so high. You know, everybody's just having such a great time. The only pressure comes from within, because you know a perfect wave's coming to you and it's your turn, and you just don't want to blow it. And sometimes you do, and you know, you just go, okay, I hope I get a chance to do another one.
Last night we were surfing and I asked you, "Gerry, what's the tip?" And you gave me the perfect tip: take the bump. Why is it important to let the staff here help you and do what they do?
Because they've been here for a long time and they know what this wave's like. And you know what it's, I mean, you know, we get so used to surfing the same spots, and we learn them and understand their nuances and kind of figure out how to surf them. But this wave is a whole brand new surf spot, and it's a perfect wave, but you got to really step on the gas to make it. And a lot of times you're not ready for that. You're thinking, I'm in a pool, you know, how fast can it be? It's fast.
It replicates the ocean even better than the ocean. I mean, that's the feeling I get.
Well, I think so. I mean, every time, each time the wave comes, it's a perfect wave. And, you know, that required a lot of technology and experimentation and a lot of investment to create something like that, but boy, have they created it.
When this wave was first being developed, did you hear any drum beat, jungle drum beat, or did it just appear on the scene like it did for all of us and it was there?
No, it was like that for me too. We all saw that picture of Kelly going, my God, and this perfect peeling, barreling right, in the background behind him. And, you know, we just went, wow, that's a pool? That can't be. And it was, and it is. And, you know, it's even better now than it was in the very beginning when they built it.
So now you said you've been lucky enough to experience this wave several times. When you see people ride it for the first time and see the stoke, is that part of what you say, that feeling that we get here?
I think what Duke Kahanamoku spent his lifetime doing was trying to share the gift of surfing with people that had never experienced, or helping people that were struggling at it when, you know, he met them out in the water. And I think for every surfer at some point in their lives, they realize that that really is something very fulfilling for them that they can do to help somebody, to show them how to surf, to be there at their first experience. We have that opportunity so many times here at this pool of people that never thought of surfing, and suddenly they're riding a wave that's almost a half-mile long. When you're riding a wave that long, I mean, most times in the beginning for a beginner surfer, if you get a 3-second ride, you think you've got a long ride. Well, when you get a ride that's almost a minute long, you got a lot of time to cogitate on what's happening to you internally as you're riding that wave, and it's a tremendous feeling.
Your life has gone through so many transitions. It's, you know, from being one of the most famous surfers on the planet for your riding ability, and continues to be one of the most famous surfers on the planet. But then you transitioned into yoga and spirituality and that. Do you get that feeling when you ride this wave?
I think what they're doing here is they're creating what the Hawaiians call the mana, what the yogis call prana. They're creating that energy, and that energy is what surfing waves in the ocean is all about, because that's what we're riding. That's what we're trying to connect with, trying to get in harmony with in order to get a successful and good ride on a wave. And they're doing that mechanically here. For that to happen in the ocean, there's a lot of variables involved, you know, with weather and everything. And that they were able to create something like this in a pool is unbelievable.
When you ride this wave, you're primarily, well, I've seen you just ride the lefts. Do you ever go backside here?
All the time.
There's different levels of the wave. There's the, and I can't remember exactly, is it a CT5, CT4, 3, 2,
Well, there's
1?
usually a CT1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And then there's an intermediate wave for that kind of mirrors, you know, a gentle wave at Waikiki, where you can get 10 people on the same wave all riding it for a long ways. For absolute beginners, that's the way you want to start. And then right away, if they like it and they show that they've kind of feeling it, yeah, right away, if they got it, you know, and they're going, I like this, and they can stand up and everything, we'll graduate them to the CT4, which is a big, fast, long wave.
What's the wave that Gerry likes to ride?
I like the CT1, 2, or 3, and I generally take the 3 because that's the biggest one.
And so that inside section, how do you set up for that? It looks like you're a cat stalking its prey. Tell me about that.
Well, you know it's coming. You know, they got those flags along the poles there, and you're kind of watching the wave, watching what you're doing, but one eye's waiting for that red flag to come up as I'm coming left, or the green flag if you're going right, because right after that, you know that wave's going to be tubing. And you just are, you know, hoping you're doing the right things to get in there. You know, someone like Kelly, he could do it with his eyes closed. At some point, he'll probably do it with his baby on his chest, you know, in a baby carrier. But, you know, for us mortals, it takes quite a few wipeouts to learn how to ride that tube.
Well, you know, to get to this location is no easy task. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Does that add to kind of the mystique of coming to the Kelly Slater Surf Ranch?
Well, I remember Sam George, you know, in the beginning, because he's got his finger on the pulse of everything that ever happens in surfing, and he was the one who was heard that there might be something around here, and his story of searching, you know, this farmland area looking for a wave pool was pretty incredible, because cornfields around here. You'd never think there was going to be a barreling, perfect, peeling wave.